Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser with the Acadiana Wrecking Rams, and actually, coincidentally, two of the most prolific passers in that program's history right there, and we didn't have to go far to find them. They're two of the leaders of this year's team with Coach Matt McCullough and senior quarterback Caden DiBetta. And guys, I appreciate you taking some time to chat and kind of catch up on how this season's going overall.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
We'll get into some of the kind of cool passing dynamics and y'all's relationship and whatnot, but just bigger picture, I haven't seen y'all in a few weeks, and it's been going pretty well in terms of wins and losses. Certainly, you guys have won 5 straight now. I don't think I need to ask y'all what the goal is, because the goal at Acadiana is pretty much known. You want to win the last one in December, but Coach, what have you seen from this group so far? How do you feel about where y'all are right now, kind of the mid-season point, in terms of what you need to see from these guys to progress toward that goal?
Yeah, no, I think we're playing well. I think we're at this point better than we've been probably since 19 and 20. I think we're playing well on defense, playing well on offense, and also, we're pretty good in special teams. Our kicker's doing really well. Plus, we've done really well in special teams on a bunch. We have some good returners. I think we play pretty well in all 3 aspects of the game.
There are a lot of great quarterbacks in the state right now, and I think everybody brings some kind of different things to the table. I don't know, Caden, that I would look at a whole lot of guys, if any, and say they're more competitive, more intense, more gritty than what you bring to the table. And so knowing kind of some of that you bring, what has it been like for you this senior year, coming off of last year, getting to the Dome and feeling that close to it for you and this senior group? What has just the energy been like around you guys heading into the season and now, getting 6 weeks into it?
Our energy has been high and our intensity levels have been high since we have lost, because honestly, we don't want to lose. And that's really it. I mean, losing is our main motivation.
What have you liked about what? Oh, go ahead.
Look, this senior group, we've got about 30-something seniors. We've got 18 starters back from last year. Of course, Caden's been a quarterback for 3 years. They're experienced. They kind of know what it takes to get themselves ready to play, and they're doing a good job Monday through Thursday of getting themselves ready to play. And like you had said earlier, the goal is of course, we get to win 2 championships, or we get a chance to. We've got to win a district championship first. And, of course, we want to get back and play for the state championship. And, I think this group's hungry. They got to it last year. They got a lot of experience. And, just excited about the way we've been playing. We got to continue it, and I think they understand that.
Caden, what have you liked about what you've seen from this group? And I guess not just your senior group, but in terms of some young guys stepping up into roles and being a part of everybody, rowing the same way toward those things in y'all's last year.
Well, we're all experienced and we all know what it takes to win, and we all know what not to do so we don't lose. So that's pretty much it. Just having experience, and those younger guys are really good, and they're going to be very good for us in the future.
I mentioned some of the record dynamics, and you and your brother each had a chance to put your names in the single game record books this past week with your 5 passing touchdowns, his 4 touchdown receptions. You're right there on Coach's heels for a career passing mark and all those things. What has it meant to you to hear some of that stuff? I know you guys are focused on winning games on Friday and winning an awful lot all the way to, those championship goals. What has it been like to hit these benchmarks in terms of what you're bringing to the team and knowing that your name is going to be in those record books whenever you wrap it up?
It feels good, but honestly, the main goal is just to win a state championship. I just do what I have to do so we can win games, but I honestly don't care about any of that. I just want to win a state championship before I go.
Have you been asked a lot about the record stuff over the past week since the big Friday night in particular? What has that been like as someone that doesn't want to talk about it a whole hell of a lot to have to field some of those, knowing you've got Lafayette High on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's focused on that, but I'm just focused on winning one game at a time each week. So,
Coach, what's it been like for you to watch him etch his name into those same record books that you've been in now for, we won't say exactly how many years, but a few years
for a while.
Yeah,
no, I'm excited for him. He deserves it. He's one of those kids that does everything the right way, works his butt off. He's a better football player than I was. He deserves it. He's going to break the record and hopefully break it big time because he's got a bunch of games left. He comes to work every day. He comes to practice every day, works his butt off. He's a guy that's going to go on and be a good college football player. So it's well deserved. He's not worried about it, but I'm glad he's breaking it, and he deserves it. And he's gonna finish out his senior year the right way, I believe.
What's been working so well in terms of getting that passing game going to the levels that it has been going, including over 300 yards this past week? What have you liked of what you've seen from Caden's development in that quarterback role, as well as some great receivers around him and the guys pass blocking up front? Just across the board.
Well, it's a combination of everything. Caden's able to move around and make some real good plays with the football. We've got good receivers. With Colin and Russell, you got two of the better receivers in the state of Louisiana, I think. And we got some other guys that can catch the football, including our big tight end. We've done a better job in pass protection. Of course, something that we work on more because we do throw the football more now. But Caden made a couple of throws last week on some scrambles that in the past we had some guys that probably couldn't make those throws. He made some really good throws on some plays that broke down. So he's able to do that too, besides make some of the throws that we need to make in our play action passing game. So he's been playing really well. Truth is, he played really well last year. I think he's played extremely well the last 7 games of last year and then all the way through this year.
Caden, when you look at your development from your first year starting as a sophomore to now, what have been the areas that you feel like you've gained the most confidence or, improved your game or just taken, the most pride in terms of just steps that you've seen from yourself over the last few years?
Well, definitely keeping my eyes down the field and not looking at the rush, along as developing my speed and be able to make more plays than I already could. So those have been the main two.
In terms of throwing the ball around a little bit more, Coach, how did that develop? I guess was that sort of part of the plan that you guys as a staff were hoping for, and then it's worked out well that Caden's been a guy that has been able to come in and do that? Or did you see in him what he was bringing as a young guy and start to kind of open some things up and want to attack a little bit more downfield because you knew what you had in him as a young athlete?
Yeah, it's a combination of it all. There's a lot of these plays and different things that we run now that we've run in the past or we've worked in practice, but just didn't run them as much when we didn't have as many good receivers or quarterback that can make those plays. So it's a little bit of a combination of stuff, and we put a few other things in because we do have Caden and we do have good receivers, and we can put some pressure on the defense because a lot of people try to stop our run, of course, and we're able to make some plays on the outside because of Caden making good throws and the receivers being able to go get them. So it's a little bit of a combination, but of course, when you got a guy running the offense that you believe can make those plays and consistently make them, it makes it easier to call those plays. And we did a really good job pretty much every week of this year throwing the football. But of course, last week, I think he was like 11 for 13 for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns because everybody was in the box and he was able to make some plays. Not just with throwing the football, but also getting out the pocket with his legs and making some plays down the field. So it's kind of been a combination. But when you got a guy that can throw the football and move around, it's a lot easier to call those plays. And then we've got some good receivers for him to throw to.
Caden, when those defenses have to start respecting a little bit more of what you guys are doing downfield, are you hearing from Jonah and TC and company? Thanks for easing some things up in the box for us, some breathing room.
No, but it certainly will be easier to run the ball because they have to respect the pass game.
What's the relationship been like for you, working with, learning from Coach McCullough, a guy who played that position at your school, a few years back, a guy that set records there. He's a guy that, we're seeing him a little bit relaxed on a Wednesday, but he's pretty intense out there on a Friday or in practice time and whatnot. And he knows what it takes to be successful. What has it been like from your perspective, just y'all's relationship and learning from him through these years?
Yeah, he's more than just a coach to me. He teaches me a lot. He's there for me all the time. He respects me and I respect him. So it's easy for us to run the offense and do what we do.
And Coach, when we talk about some of this stuff and we're looking back to the late 90s and whatnot and talking about some of these games that you had along the way, to think back to that, is that kind of take you back and make you feel young again, or is it making you feel old because it's been a little while, or how are you kind of enjoying just some opportunities to reminisce in some spots along the way?
Yeah, a little bit. Remember some of the games that we had back when I played, but it's bigger that I'm just glad that Caden's breaking that record because I think he deserves it. He's put in a lot of work. He's thrown the football well. But yeah, some of them games that we played, And they're putting some stuff in our program about some of the past history of Acadiana, which is a pretty cool thing. We've got a bunch of big games over the years, so I think that's pretty cool. And then for Caden to be the all-time leading passer, which is a well-deserved thing, it kind of brings light back to some of the stuff that happened in the past, which is always a good thing. When somebody breaks a record, it highlights the person, but also highlights some of the past records that people that had done at Acadiana over the years.
Caden, you're trying to accomplish some special things in your last year over there, but in terms of looking into the future, you have two younger brothers now on the team. We mentioned Cohen's on campus now and everything. What's it been like to do some of the things that y'all are doing, and particularly right now, Colin, have him on the receiving end of a lot of these things? I know mom's real excited for all three of y'all to be there, but how much fun is it for you to have your brothers involved in practice and on Friday nights?
I mean, it definitely is fun. I mean, Colin's been my wide receiver once since I was about 6 years old. We played on every team together. Cohen, he's going to be a great quarterback. He has a strong arm, and he's lefty, which you don't see a lot of lefties nowadays. So definitely going to throw off some defenses. But yeah, it's definitely been fun practicing with my brothers and carrying our name throughout this school.
Things heat up now as we hit the back half of district. I mentioned you guys have Lafayette High this week, and then Southside, Sam Houston, and Karen Crow still on the horizon. Coach, what do you want to see from your guys through these next few weeks? What is going to be critical for y'all in terms of trying to accomplish those 2 championship goals that we talked about?
Well, just consistency. We've already this week had a pretty good Monday and Tuesday, and I think this group kind of understands that. But it's got to be consistency. Understand that when we get this part of the year, you got to prepare well to win. Lafayette High this week. Then we got Southside, Sam Houston, and Karen Crow, which I think are some games that will get us prepared for the playoffs. The goal is to win a district championship. To do that, we probably got to win out. I think Southside's undefeated. So that's the goal. And if we win out, we'll have a chance to be a top 1 or 2 seed, which is something that's important to us too, because it gives you the ability to be home during the playoffs. So, there's a couple things there. First things first, we got to beat Lafayette High this week at our place. So.
Good deal. Well, that sounds good to me, and certainly good luck to you guys with that one and for all of them ahead. Appreciate y'all again for taking some time on a Wednesday and talking about everything.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it for having us.
You got it. Always a pleasure.
All
Yeah,
right.
go ahead, Caden. Again, that's Coach Matt McCullough, senior quarterback Caden DiBetta out there with the Acadiana Wrecking Rams. They've won 5 straight, sitting at 5-1 now in the season, and they've got Lafayette High next up this week in Week 7 for Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser.